Do you have a screen that looks like this and needs to be repaired? Well, you're in luck. We're going to show you that today on That's How We Do It. Hello! Today we are going to show you how to repair a window screen. The first thing we're going to do is remove the spline. That is the black line right here, and it is what holds the screen in the channel of the frame. I'm going to use this tool right here and pry up the spline so that we can remove it from the channel of the frame. All products used in today's repairs will be included in the links in the description below. So just stick this in there. It can be a small screwdriver, anything that can get in that channel, and then you just pull back the spline. Carefully remove all the spline going all the way around the screen. And after all the spline is removed, you can pop the screen out. And that's it for removing the screen. I use Adfors material. The first thing we need is the screen itself. They come in different sizes and they offer different styles of material, such as insect screen or pet screen, which is a thicker material and is tear and scratch resistant. So make sure you pick the one that is right for you. The next thing we need is the spline. Spline comes in different sizes to fit into the frame channel to hold the screen in place. Now you can see here, this one is 0.14 in thickness. When we look at the frame, we see it has a channel for the spline to hold the screen in. This channel differs in sizes from frame to frame, so it is important to select the right thickness and spline so it can hold your screen material. We will also need a spline tool to push the spline into the channel. A pair of scissors to help us cut both the screen and the spline, and a utility knife to help cut the extra screen flush with the frame. We will then unroll our screen material and place our frame on it so we can measure how much material we will need for our project. In order to save on material, I lay out my frames to see how they best fit. You can see here that I can fit one frame easily horizontally. However, when I place it vertically, I can actually get enough screen to repair two frames with just a little bit of extra height than the one placed horizontally. I will then take my scissors and cut the screen to the size I need. Place all four edges of the frame on a flat surface to see if there are any bends or bows in the frame. If there are, you can take apart the frame at the corners Try to bend the frame back into place, being careful not to push too hard, or the frame may break. Try to get the frame as flat as possible. And then put everything back together. Place the frame with the channel side up on a flat surface. Then place the screen onto the frame, making sure that the side that wants to curl from being rolled is is down. This is just a personal preference. Although not always necessary, in an effort to prevent over-tightening of the screen and causing bowing in the frame, I take 4 small pieces of spline and insert them into the channel in the frame to keep the screen from moving around while putting in the spline. Work your way around the frame inserting the spline. The spline tool has 2 different sides, a thicker side and a narrower side. You can use these depending on how thick your channel is. Align the spline into the channel and use the spline tool to push the spline down into the channel to hold the screen in place. Work your way around the frame. I have found it easier on some frames to leave the corners until last. I work my way up to a few inches away from the corner and stop, leaving just enough spline to finish the corner later. I then cut the spline and start on a new side. This helps keep the screen from being pulled too tight and causing bowing. As you work your way towards them, remove the pieces of spline that you put in earlier to hold the screen. As you move your way around the frame, pull the screen to prevent extra material from being left in the middle of the viewing area, which will cause ripples or bubbles. There's no need to pull this extremely tight, otherwise you will cause the frame to bow. Just a slight pull to make sure that there's no sagging in the middle. As I finish putting in the spline on a side, I turn it and hold the frame against a flat surface to ensure there is no bowing, or that it looks like it did when we first checked earlier. This ensures that we are not pulling the screen too tight and causing bowing on the frame. You can see here the difference between a flat screen frame and one where the screen has been pulled too tight, causing the frame to bow and leaving a space between the frame and the flat surface. This means the frame will not touch the sides of the window and leave a space for bugs to get in. We also want to make sure that we check the screen is pulled tight enough that there are no bubbles or ripples in the viewing area, as seen here. Continue to work your way around the frame, putting the spline in to hold the screen in place. After the spline is in place on all four sides, ensure that there is no bowing on the frame and no bubbles or ripples in the viewing area. After getting all four sides done and leaving the corners for last, you can use your free hand to push down on the screen in the corner and then roll your spline into place. This will allow the screen to be properly fitted in the corner to prevent over-tightening. Cut off any extra spline and then push the spline down into the corners. Do this all the way around the frame in all four corners. Now take your utility knife and cut off the extra screen that overextends the outside of the frame. You can place the blade of your utility knife on the spline in the frame and use it as a guide to cut off the extra screen, ensuring a nice clean cut. Continue working your way around the frame, cutting off all the extra screen. And that's it. That's how you repair a damaged screen. Thanks for joining us today. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like and subscribe button so we can get more content out to you. If you didn't like what you saw, smash that thumbs down button twice to really let us have it. Until next time, this is John for That's How We Do It, brought to you by Rustic American Woodwork.